Hello, and we are back for another episode of the Eleshia Show. And I am here on my own doing a solo, and I am doing some thoughts and musing about just life in general and also what I do and how I describe it, and talking about just having a strategy to be able to really articulate what I do and how I do it for others, and hoping that this will make you think about how you describe what you do, because a lot of the times we stumble, right? We stumble when somebody asks us, what do you do? Or we don't have that perfect elevator pitch that everybody tells you that you should have. And so we're just like, and so the other day, I was asked what I do, and I said, I do holistic project management. And the person said, why holistic? And I said, why not? And then I realized that they really wanted me to answer that question. And so I thought, well, if they don't understand why I do project management from a holistic perspective, then maybe other people don't also. And so here I am to explain what I do and why I do it from a holistic standpoint. I think you all know because you have been listening, or if you're new, then this is a great introduction to what I do and why I do it. Okay, so a little bit of background about me. I worked in corporate for over 15 years, and I primarily worked in project management. I saw people burn out. I saw amazing senior women in amazing roles leave. I saw people get bullied. I saw racism. I saw non-inclusiveness. I saw it all. And ultimately, that made me really take a step back and look at the whys and who was being affected and why they were being affected, and ultimately what that would do to that individual. And so from a holistic standpoint, you're not going to feel great in any of those situations, right? If you are being bullied, if you are stressed, if you are feeling anxious about the work that you're doing, if you go to work and you have knots in your stomach because you know that your team are not on board with what you're doing, or you're embedded into a team that doesn't really understand or want to adhere to project management. That one I'm talking from experience. And so you, as a person, is left feeling anxious and unsafe and ill and tired and stressed and ultimately burnt out. And you don't always have the tools to be able to look after yourself. And I kept on seeing that, including myself in all of these insights, right? Because I burn out a lot. Some of the times I didn't know I was burning out because I just pushed through. And so that's why it was really, really important to me when I built my own business to look at the person in front of me first, the well-being of that person first. And when I left corporate, I was just going to straight up concentrate on well-being. I was going to be a Pilates teacher full time. I was going to continue with my massage therapy, and I was going to try for a baby because I was so burnt out that I was like, I never want to step into a office again because of the way I felt, the way I had been treated at some points, all of the feelings and the emotions and the energy that I had to push down and deal with on a day-to-day basis to get through and get to a place where I wanted to get to. I had plans, right? I wanted to progress, but I didn't want to progress always having to think, am I doing okay? Am I being watched? Am I being scrutinized for the work that I'm doing? Do people really want to invest in me? Or is it because they know that I'm a workhorse and Eleshia will get the things done if they give it to Eleshia? it will get done. I didn't want to continue to live my life that way. And I also was going through fertility issues, and I wanted a baby more than I wanted the six-figure role. And so I already had my exit strategy, but then it became apparent to me that I couldn't stay anyway. So when I made the decision to leave, it was just solely for me to take care of myself and to concentrate on well-being, because I had been so badly burnt out that my adrenals were shocked, my fertility issues were bad, and I had inflammation throughout my whole body. And so I needed to heal before I could do anything else. And that's when I took all of my own learning and started to really try to identify what was going on in my body so that I could start to integrate and execute some of the learnings that I'd already knew, but also anything else that I had learned on the way. So traditionally, project management is looked at as being a very process driven methodology. And yes, it is, but also times have changed, right? And now we have so many different tools, so many systems. And so there are now so many different ways for us to deliver a project, a program, a portfolio. And so when I had my baby girl and then decided that I was going to start to look at how I can merge my well-being experience with my project management experience, that's when I decided that I was going to do that from a holistic perspective, because I wanted to bring all of my experience and everything that I'd learned about the well-being industry and everything that I had gone through myself into what I also knew and studied and had experience in the project management sector, and then integrate them together. And that happened really naturally. It happened because I was getting asked a lot of questions about how to build businesses and how to launch products and services and so forth. And also, I was already in the well-being space. And so I had my aha moment and I was like, wow, I've got all of this wealth of experience that I've just put on the shelf because I've had my child, and I am now learning to look after her and look after me and my family. And so I put project management on a shelf, but not realizing that it's ingrained in me. Everything that I was doing was from a project management standpoint. And it just came so naturally then to be able to help others to do the same. And so that's what I did. I merged both of my expertise and experience, and now I do holistic project management. I use the Eleshia method, and I know it works because of the client feedback. So what I love to do is really help by providing ways where my clients can educate themselves and then look at their lifestyles, and then for them to evaluate what is going on at the moment, and then looking at their home life systems and their business systems, and making sure that they're still thinking about themselves from a holistic perspective. And then they can start to integrate what they've learned, what they need to do to take action. And I love, 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 love really breaking things down into small, manageable parts. And the way I do this is by helping them to look at what their desires are. We all know what we want, but sometimes we are afraid to say it out loud. And that's why I'm here to help. I pride myself on helping women business owners to really get clear on their desires in their lifestyles and their businesses, to take action fast, to make sure that they're making money, because that's what they want to do with me. They want to be successful in launching their products, their services. And so that's what I help them do. And yes, I do work with men, but I primarily want to help women because, again, talking from experience, sometimes we question ourselves. Sometimes we do not believe in ourselves. And that's the reason why I believe in community. And that's one of the reasons why I decided that it was important to have this podcast, important to talk about what I wanted to talk about, and important to really share lifestyle and business things that are going on within my life as they go on. Because a lot of the time we get caught up in seeing how people are perceiving themselves on this big internet. And then we don't always take the time to consider our own desires and to identify those desires and to integrate what we want and then to implement. We don't always give ourselves time to do that. And that's the whole reason why I am here to help you, because I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to have the confidence and the clarity. I want you to have the return on your investment. I want you to know that you are the most important person. I want you to know all of these things and know that you are a badass at whatever you do, and you just need some courage sometimes. And that happened to me the other day. I needed some courage about something, and my coach gave me that courage to go out and follow up on a few things. And guess what? They're all coming to fruition. However, I needed help to really talk things through, and then also to have a community behind me that was going to cheer me along. And so that's why this is so important to me, to be able to give that to you. So from a project management perspective, I look at the scope. I look at the vision. I look how we're going to initiate what we're doing. Then I help you to plan. And then we look at the milestones and how to deliver, and we execute. So all of the fundamentals of project management is what I do with you, but I do it from a holistic standpoint. So I'm going to ask you about your family. I'm going to ask you about your health. I'm going to ask you if that deadline is too tight and are you going to end up overstretching yourself. I'm going to ask you about where you are in your cycle, or if you don't have a cycle, where you are in the moon cycle, or how are you feeling. I'm going to ask you all of these questions because they all matter. I'm going to ask you to write your goals down if that helps you, or I'm going to meet you where you are. One of the things that I love to do is just to do a small test so that I know how you and I are going to converse, how you learn, so that I am not trying to push you when that doesn't work, when you start to draw back and you're resistant. I don't want any of that. I want to meet you where you are, and everything that we work together on is bespoke to you. So there is no, oh, this is how we do things step by step. Yes, I have a framework, but we work through the framework that is bespoke and built for you. Because when you work with me, we do a long questionnaire to ensure that I know exactly what you want and I can keep you on track. So that's why, for me, holistic project management is really, really important, because it starts with you. It starts with who you are and where you want to go and how we can get you there. And obviously you're going to do the work, but I'm here to help you to implement, because we all have to believe. That's what it says on my top today. Believe. We all have to believe. A good friend of mine always says, and I've probably said it 100 times on the podcast as well, we don't know what's going to happen. We do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. So we need to live intentionally today. We need to start thinking about our goals and our future today. And if we can, we need to make sure that we write them out so we can visually see them. If you're a visual person, or if you're not, that you have some place or somewhere where you can keep all of your visions and all of your desires and the things that you want to do later somewhere. I use ClickUp. I love a project management tool. Gone are the days when all we had was Microsoft Project that was really clunky at times. Now we have CRM systems, we have systems like Asana, Trello, ClickUp, Monday.com. I recently just set up a corporate client actually on Monday.com, and they are happy that they are able to integrate their internal projects and their external projects in the one place. I personally love ClickUp because that's how my brain works. So in my business, that's what we use. And we have different workspaces for everything in the business. And then that feeds into a larger plan so that we can have an overview of what we're doing. And for me, that works. And then I've got other systems that I use that are really helpful to keep me on track, to make sure that I am fulfilling my goals and desires because it's really important, but also because I like to go back and have a look to see where I was to where I've got to. And so that's why holistic project management is really important to me. It's important that you build in your self care. So we're going to look at the things that light you up, like having your hair done, like I said. I had my hair done a few weeks ago because I needed to change. So having your hair done, if you're a nail girl, having your nails done, or wearing makeup, having new clothes, massages, whatever makes you feel good, I want you to do it. And then nourishing your body, that is super important to me. Making sure that you're hydrated, making sure that you're getting enough greens in, making sure that you're living a holistic lifestyle as well, because we want to be here. We need to be here for as long as we possibly can. So that's really important to me as well. So it's funny that I got asked that question and I didn't know that they really wanted me to explain. But it also is really important because I think for me now, I understand that when I say holistic, people are not always going to understand. And it's not for everybody. I had to sever ties with a client some months ago because it just wasn't aligned with how I work. Gone are the days where I want to have reactive emails that I have to react within half an hour. You know, I love to have white space in my diary. And so one of the things that is really important to me is that, yes, I'm okay with having the occasional reactive request, but I don't want to continue to have reactive requests coming at me because that raises my nervous system and that keeps me in that fight or flight moment where I am feeling internally and externally stressed all the time. I preach about that all the time, making sure that you get enough time to yourself within your working day, making sure that you take regular breaks, making sure that you take dance parties or you take some time outside. All of these are really, really important to me and they should be important to you. So, holistic project management is a key part of my business because I practice what I preach. And so, it's important for me to have the management wrapped around my projects and my business because it's so much easier for me as a solo entrepreneur with a small team to be able to delegate to my team so that they know and they know exactly what I want and how I want it. It also helps me with my timelines and my work-life balance because I can visually see what I want to get done in a certain amount of time. And also, it's really important for some of my key skills like relationship building. For me, relationship building is an integral part of project management. I would not have been successful if I didn't build relationships when I was trying to deliver projects. I mean, sometimes it's really difficult to get people on board if you are just not willing to build any rapport with them. So I believe that building relationships with your team, with your external contractors, with your clients, building that rapport is so, so important. And just then really thinking end to end what it is that you want. So like I said, looking at the scope and then also having a strategic plan to get you to the delivery of your project. And when I say projects, I'm talking your podcast launch, your course launch, your digital planner launch, your VIP day launch. All of those are projects. And so that's why it's so integral to have project management. And I know a lot of people don't really talk about how they're doing it, but they are breaking down their desires and their goals to launch those projects that I've just reeled off delivered. And that's the thing, right? Being a solo business owner can be chaotic sometimes. And so just having somebody, if that is not your skill, just having somebody to help you with your strategy, to help you with your planning, and then to hold you accountable when it comes to delivering, that's all you may need to start to see a big difference in your business. And so that's why I love what I do, because I get to see the vision. I get to help to map out the vision into a strategic plan. I get to help people to integrate and start to think about how they can move things around to help them to then execute and implement their desires. And I also help them to continue to be on track and to do it fast, right? Because sometimes you'll disappoint yourself, but you won't disappoint your manager, or you won't disappoint your children, or you won't disappoint your husband or your partner. So, having that extra layer of accountability always, always helps. When you really think about it, sometimes it can be a big investment to get somebody to help you with the things that are not in your own wheelhouse, but really consider the women hours that you are putting in, especially if you are building your business or you are a career woman and you have a family and a partner to look after as well. Why are you trying to do it all yourself? I'm giving you one of my daughter's looks. That is not how you're going to scale your business. That is not how you are going to make the desired income that you want, because there's only one you. And by burning the candle at both ends, you are only looking at more burnout. And that is not what we want for you. And so it's really time to consider, are you going to make some small adjustments to help you get to what you want, just by taking the time to sit down and actually consider, what do I really, really want? And then think about how you can get it and what help that you may need. And you'll be really, really surprised. A lot of my clients get their return on investment back in a very short period of time. And that's because, one, they do the work, and two, because they have the confidence and the clarity to then make those quick moves in order to see the return on investment quickly as well. So I would take some time and just Google project management and see what comes up for you. And I'm going to leave you with some homework. Think about the ways that you have previously launched a project or a service or an offer, and think about the gaps. Think about maybe doing a gap analysis of what may have helped you to run that better. And this is what we call lessons learned in project management, because you can always learn lessons. And so for me, that's really important, to just reflect back on what it is that you found really difficult, and then consider maybe getting yourself some help where you don't have the expertise, because it may not feel like it now, but it will definitely save you time in the long run. And it also means that you are able to then concentrate on maybe getting new clients through the door, or even looking at different aspects of your business and changing them, or looking at different aspects of your business and making small tweaks in order for your business to run a little bit smoother. And so that's what I want you to do. I want you to think about that from a business perspective. And I also want you to think about this from a lifestyle perspective, because both of those go hand in hand, as much as you may not think they do. They really, really do, because again, like I said, you are the person who is the most important in this equation. Without you, there is no business, there is no title or role, because if you are burnt out, you are not going to be able to do any of it. So start really, really small. If it overwhelms you, you know where I am, you know that I'm here to help, but start small. Start by just writing out the gaps. And then if you're up for it, then write about your desires. Think about what you still want to achieve in your lifetime. And then again, break it down. Dream big, dream audacious. Now is the time to do that. Stop trying to be small. I did that for a very long time. I tried to be invisible sometimes in order for people not to see me, so that I could just get on with things and go home. And yes, that worked for me, but also I missed out on things because of it, good and bad, I think. But yeah, I really hope that's been insightful for you. I really truly believe when we're thinking about how we run our businesses, our households, our lifestyles, we should be really considering putting ourselves first and ensuring that we're okay, and making sure that we get all of the love and support that we need to be able then to take care of ourselves first, and then to run a successful life if that's what you choose. But it's so, so important. And then don't get me started in just ensuring that you're getting enough sleep and enough rest and enough playtime and all of that. I want the best for you. And I'm not just saying that because I want you to work with me. I'm saying that because for so long we've put our partners, our kids, our jobs, our careers in front of everything else. And we're not looking at the person who's keeping everything up. We are just getting home from long days at work and just sitting on the sofa and just looking into the abyss because we're too tired to do anything. And this is a time where we need to continue to enjoy life. We really, really do. So my elevator pitch is that I am a project and implementation manager who helps women business owners to identify, integrate, and implement their desires and goals in a simplified way in order for them to scale their businesses to beyond. That's what I like to do. I like to help you to make money. I like to help you to feel confident. I like to help you to get clarity. I love to celebrate you. I love to celebrate with you. And so I am happiest when I get text messages or DMs or voice notes to say, Eleshia, I did this, this, and this, and I won today. And that is what lights me up. That is what I'm here to do. And that's what I will continue to do. And I will do that from a well-being perspective. So I'm all about making sure that you're exercising, you're eating well, you're sleeping, you are not burning out, so that you can be the best version of you. And that's what I do. And that's what I recommend that you do. So come find me, come sort me out. I have some really, really excited things that are coming your way, and I cannot wait to share them with you. So until next week, I really hope that helped you to identify what I do and how I do it. And hopefully I get to talk to you soon. Remember, you can always contact me, book yourself some time in my diary. I have linked the information in the show notes, and I would love, 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 one, to help you, but also to meet you. So use the freeness. Anyway, until next week, take care. Bye bye.